decades, but things were pretty gone and they did not have that smooth transition into plant-based meat transitional life. So this is revenue with sales that have dropped off a rock ever since 2020. They haven't been able to increase their sales one bit. They are down 5% year over year. This company is still unprofitable, losing today $153 million. That is quite a substantial amount of money to be investing in a company like this. This is a company that is rather spooky. They have a market cap of $112 million. Super small market cap. This is like a micro cap. If not, this is a penny stock. This was a company that was once probably trading around $130, and now it is at $1 today, up $127, 127% actually, which is insane. That is immense. What actually surprises me is, why is there an analyst estimate of $72 for the company? I mean, if this stock can get short sold all the way up to $72, could you imagine what in the world would happen? like what is happening? This company has cash of $103 million with their total debt of $1.2 billion. That is a nasty ratio of having the immense amount of debt in relation to how much you can pay off the debt. So this is a company that isn't very financially sound when it comes to where they are in terms of generating money, as well as the money that they have in their bank to cover themselves if they were to go into financial struggle. So a little spooky here to be a core investor in the Beyond Meat business. So the company carries a substantial amount of debt, and they've been doing quite a bit of restructuring lately. They announced an exchange to offer and eliminate over $800 million in debt with existing notable support. And on the market side, Beyond Meat has seen a massive rally recently, largely retail or meme stock driven. The shares have surged immensely, and this is short squeeze talk right now. So why is this attracting new attention from any investor out there? It's really because the short interest is so high, which means that the stock could be very vulnerable to a squeeze coming here soon. Now, the price is extremely low relative to its past highs, and that makes it really strong for a what if story. What if they could return back to where they were back in the past, way back when, and we can get so much gains from here? Retail hype and meme stocks, they have this kind of dynamic, and we're seeing this kind of narrative as well as any other speculative stock. You are seeing this happen with Beyond Meat today. That said, with the attention alone, it doesn't make it a great investment. You still need viable business fundamentals or a credible turnaround plan if you actually were a serious investor in Beyond Meat. Now, here are major red flags with the Beyond Meat business. The revenue is shrinking. The consumer demand for meat alternatives seems to be softening. You don't see people going out there to get vegetable replacement meats nowadays. It used to be bigger, but not so much today. There's large dilution risk. The shares of the company may need to be issued if there needs to be a raise of capital. This could hurt shareholders if Beyond Meat says, hey, with the stock going up so much, we might just want to give shares out and then collect money in return. That could just hurt shareholders. There's execution risk, meaning that if there is demand to return, then Beyond Meat could execute and improve margins, scale internationally, reduce debt. But if it doesn't, this gamble doesn't pay off. And even with all the money that they're able to raise, if they're not able to throw it back into the business and grow it, then it's all for nothing. Volatility risks. Now, if you invest here, expect big swings. There is going to be a large swing to the upside, mainly large to the downside as well. I intend this to go anywhere between looking like a barcode, up and down, up and down, up and down. So for somebody in their mid-20s building a portfolio, there are serious considerations we need to ask. Is there potential reward worth for the risk that we're taking on here? Here's my take. Anybody who is seriously considering buying Beyond Meat stock, they could make the case for buying if they are bullish on a turnaround, had conviction in the brand, or treat this as a very speculative position, which is like 5% or less of a portfolio position. And you should hold this if you already hold it. If you are already in the position and you are watching the debt structure operating metrics or any signs of demand recovery. You should skip this for most people that are, wanting to hold for stability or reliable growth. That's just not it. You're not getting that with Beyond Meat. For me personally, I have made the executive decision to potentially enter this company. I know it sounds crazy. But with momentum nowadays, it could just be one of those fun things that you do. This is essentially straight gambling. Like, this is the money that you would take over to a casino and say, hey, if I'm gonna go around and mess around with X amount of dollars, this is going to be it. This is a satellite position. The upside, I believe, is big, but the downside is going to be big as well. Now, here's exactly what I'm doing with this stock. This stock is currently at $1.47, but after hours, it's about $2. Now, I put a limit buy out there for $1.50. If this does get filled at $1.50, I will be okay with riding this company until whatever. And if I make my money, take it out and then play with house money, but I will lose 30% max. If I put money into this company and the order gets executed, I will take a 30% loss if it does hit it. Now, given that I have a limit order to buy at 150, which might not even get filled. If it does, sure. But I have a 750 share order to buy into this company. Why? Because I believe it's fun. Why? Because if I lose, then we can write it off for taxes. I'm hoping that we don't, and we can have a huge tax bill, because paying taxes means that you make money. But this is something that is essentially just straight going to a casino. It's $1,000. The portfolio today is about $185,000. So that is less than 1% of the entire portfolio position. I'm comfortable with taking this as a loss, especially with a stop loss of 30%. And if I have a stop loss of 30%, realistically, you only lose $300 max. But I think the upside here is fun. And we could see more price action to the upside as well as the downside. So I'm treading very carefully. Now, what I want to watch in the forward quarters, I don't even want to watch anything. I just want to hold this company for the next couple of weeks or days and see where it's going to go and just play off momentum. If you look at where the shares are on a short basis, this company has shares short of 63%. 63% of their shares are short, meaning that for 2 out of 3 investors are betting against this company. They're borrowing stock against it to short sell, and we might actually just get a short squeeze here. I think this could potentially be it. I actually kind of hope I get filled at 150, because I think that's a good price for where it is, and I'd be up so much. So if somebody will share or sell their shares to me at 150, I think I'll take them. Just for fun, for science. We're doing this for science, okay? This is straight gambling. Do not follow this at all, because it doesn't make sense. As an investor, it does not make sense. I showed you the products, I showed you the business, and it does not make sense to invest in this company. But we're doing it because we are betting. This is like a once in a long time opportunity for me to throw my money into a fire pit and let it on fire. Essentially, that is what I am doing. Tread very carefully. So to wrap up, Beyond Meat is a high risk, high reward name, and it is not suitable for everybody, especially if you're looking at steady growth in compounders, like growing your wealth steadily. This is essentially, if you are a young buck building a portfolio, you're comfortable with big swings, you should consider maybe a small position, maybe don't consider it, and always know what you're getting into before you get into it, because like any investment, it can go up, it can go down, it can go to zero, and if you lose leverage, you can lose a lot more. So be very careful. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and make sure that you subscribe for more investing deep dives. Drop a comment down below. What is your biggest speculative stock right now? I'll pick a few in the comments and feature it in my next video. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.